Arvo teas with Al, grab a cuppa. Arvo teas with Al, grab some tea. Arvo teas with Al, grab some coffee. Arvo teas with Al, grab some cake, some cake, some cake, some cakey, 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 cake. Head outside, get some fresh air into your lungs. Head outside, it's time for a break and some cake. An Arvo tea with Al.
G'day River Connectors, welcome to Arvo Teas with Al, and I'm Al. Well, I've made it outside. I've got my cup of tea. This one's an Earl Grey tea, and I've got my savoury bickies today. So thank you to Claire. Claire follows us a bit. Thank you for your suggestion for afternoon tea today. Delish. Thank you very much. If you have other suggestions that anyone would like to see me having for afternoon tea for our future sessions, please let me know. Today we're going to wake up our noses. So we set our feet free yesterday, and today we're going to wake up our noses. These guys have got good noses. So, what will we do? How will we do it? What will we do? I think the first thing we need to do is just clear out our nostrils. So we're going to have three big deep breaths. All right, are you ready? And stop.
Some of us get cooped up inside where the air's stale and there's a distinct lack of natural wild smells. Our ancestors thrived on having a really good sense of smell. It would help them to distinguish between plants they might want to harvest or stay away from. It probably helped them smell when a predator was lurking. We still use our sense of smell for some reasons. Even though the dangers are different. And some predators are now our friends. When we think about self-care, it's really nice to take the opportunity to stop and smell all the nice things around us, or stop and smell the roses, as they say. So today, have a look around the plants in your yard and have a bit of a whiff to find out what might smell nice. You might have a good choice of plants in your yard, or pots on a balcony, or even just outside on the street. Perhaps there's a street tree near your house that has a really nice smell, or you can safely and without breaking any physical distancing rules take a short walk to a spot where there's some gum trees.
Righto, I've picked a few favourites from my yard. Been for a wander around, and it's amazing how many different plants that have nice smells I've actually got in my yard. So you might be surprised as well. So I guess to start with, first off, how beautiful. It's where the saying comes, stop, slow down, take time to smell the roses. And that's what this activity is all about. Not just roses, but this is a beautiful one that my mum used to grow, and I managed to get a cutting. It's a beautiful smell. It still reminds me of her, and smells can be great for memories. So I'm going to put that one inside when I go back into my office later. Alright, there's a starter. What else have we got? Let's start here. This one, don't know, it's pretty fine. You might not be able to see it that well. Sometimes you can smell plants just by giving it a bit of a waft. Sometimes you've actually got to break something off and give it a bit of a rub in your hand. Oh, that's nice. And this one, when you cut it, the sticks can smell as well. This one's one of our local Murray pines. All right, beautiful plant, and it's not as common as it used to be in the area. So it's good to have plenty of those around. This guy I'm not sure what it is. It's just a piece of decoration really that was in the front yard, and I've never taken the time to find out what it is. But it's got a bit of a sappy, piney kind of a smell. So it's one of those ones that sometimes people make. They cut them into shapes and things. Is it topiary, perhaps? So that's a good one. Where else are we going? Okay, this one. Now you'll notice, this one was a native. These are not. We're not being non-native plants. It's all about the smell. So this one is a beautiful rock rose. And I said before, some plants you just walk past or they do this and you can smell them, and this is one of those. It's Mediterranean apparently. It's got a great smell, really, really lovely smell, and it is one that when it warms up on the warmer days, you walk past it and you can smell it. And it's really lovely. This is a bit small, but it might be a bit hard to see. This is a little Melaleuca. I'm not sure what type. I just bought it as a cutting. It's got a lovely smell too. So tiny little leaves on that guy, but it's got a nice smell. Next one around, this is one of our bottle brushes, and I just love the red colour. Not getting too much. Just watch you don't get pollen up your nose. All bugs, so just be a bit careful when you're sniffing flowers. You definitely don't want a bug to go up your nose. Okay, callistemon. Okay, we all look at flowers and we think, oh, the flower's going to be the nice smelly bit. But actually, if you break off a leaf, snap him in half. That's a lovely smell too. Now, keep taking note of which ones you might want to keep for later on. This guy's off our lime tree, so the flower's got a beautiful, really strong smell. What's our leaf got? Wow. Oh. You know how you sometimes get those citrus oils and they just go straight up your nose and pow! Yep. It's almost like, you know when you go to peel an orange or a lemon and out of the peel bit, it squirts a little bit of pith. It's not juice, it's pith. And all these fumes come up. That's that. Woo. Very cool. This is just can you see that one? Little piece of a native pelargonium, called a stork's bill or a crane's bill. This one comes out with nice little pale pink flowers. It comes up in a big bush. And this one has a bit of a citrus smell in the leaves. And so some of these citrus smelling plants, they tell us to plant near your house if you want to try and keep mosquitoes and stuff like that away. So some of these smells are actually really good for pest control. So remember that. I'll have to get some more of those because the mozzies are nuts at the moment. Coming across, who's next? These guys look a little bit similar, as in just their colour really, and small leaves. But anyway, this one's a golden diosma. I've got this one just in the front there. It's got another beautiful smell. This one reminds me a little bit of work because we've got a couple of these outside the offices at council, and sometimes when I walk past I just pick a bit off, rub it into my hand, and then I can actually smell that smell for a good, I don't know, maybe half an hour afterwards. I don't know, I haven't really counted, but you know, I can take that smell with me. Sorry Scotty, I don't mean to pick your plants. This one, golly, the name, I think it's a Cassinia. It's a big bush that has a nice smell. Feel free to comment and tell me where I've got the plants wrong, because I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. Another one, you walk past it or it waves and you get a beautiful smell. Actually, quite similar. It's almost a mustardy smell. This one's stronger. isn't that interesting? I've just made a discovery. That's the exotic, that's the native. They smell similar. How cool. This is a little, oh, he's gone droopy now. This is a rock coria. So they've got really, really shiny leaves and some beautiful tube flowers, which I didn't pick. And I have never heard of them smelling much, but I picked one yesterday and thought, wow, that's cool. Might just use different fingers because these ones are all stunk up. It's actually got a really beautiful sweet smell, and I never would have expected that. Didn't know that about corias. Okay, moving on. I've got some of your typical great, I guess, herbs in the garden. The leaves smell a little bit and the flower smells a little bit. This is our lavender. We've got a couple of different types. There's an English and a French. Both smell amazing. So they're great. We just pick a few of those off and dry them, and you can use them around the house. Lavender's really good for relaxation. And this one's a bit of rosemary. So, yeah, I love the smell of rosemary. Makes me think, I wonder if we're having roast lamb this week. All sorted for the rosemary. It's a beautiful, beautiful fresh smell. This one's actually a native rosemary, or a Westringia. Now, oh, can you see? Beautiful little flowers. This one, I don't know if it's a little bit rosemary. It's not nowhere near as strong as exotic rosemary, but it's a very good one. And then our final favourite, okay? Here we go. Eucalyptus. You can, I imagine you can do the same with a lot of the other plants. Here's a eucalyptus that I picked off the tree just over there. Squish it up. That good old smell. We all know the medicinal purposes of this, or properties. Can really clean out a messy nose if you want it to. Alright, if you've got a magnifying glass, you might actually want to have a look on one of the leaves, because you'll be able to see that there are actually little oil glands on these leaves, which is really kind of cool. You can actually see the little pot that the eucalyptus oil sits in. And then I guess it has a special mechanism for letting that oil come in and out. And the other old favourite is, if you can't reach any of these on your tree because it's too high, there should be some of these, so some of the leaf litter underneath, okay? Oh, go get it, go get it. Intruders. Grab some leaf litter, squish it up. That's pretty damn good. Alright, awesome. Righto, so there you have it. Oh, g'day. There's all the smells from my yard, and it still surprises me how many I've got there. Rosemary always reminds me of an old dog I used to have. It's amazing what plants can do and smells can do with triggering old memories. They say it's the strongest sense that you've got. I had an old dog that used to sleep under rosemary bushes at our house, and I still think of him when I smell rosemary. So there'll be other plants that might trigger your memories, whether it's the eucalyptus leaves from when you go camping. It might be some citrus from a friend's orchard, or the roses from your mum or your grandma's garden. Thanks for joining in today. Really appreciate you coming along and joining us again. Do enjoy your cups of tea and your savoury bickies and cheese. And I'll see you tomorrow for afternoon tea with Al. Arvo teas with Al.